A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to one and all, and welcome to Singapore International Dynamic Speakers, or in short, SGI Dynamic Speakers. I am your SAA for today, and I will ensure the meeting runs smoothly. For the meeting to run smoothly, I will encourage everyone to switch on their videos to show their beautiful faces. But just in case you are shy or you are at work and it's inappropriate to switch on your video, it's all right. Just go down to the bottom button and press stop video. And another rule, gentle rule, is that if someone is speaking and you're not speaking, not supposed to speak, please press the mute button to mute yourself. And once again, welcome to SGI Dynamic Speakers. We are 100% online club, and today's theme is change. I will not be speaking much on this theme, and I will hand over to our Toastmaster of the day, Thomas Chen. Over to you, Thomas.
All right, thank you so much, Alicia, for that very energetic opening for everyone to start this chapter meeting with enthusiasm and passion itself. So today we are going to have a really very exciting and enriching segment ahead, because to start off, we shall have our president's opening address, followed by our grammarian for today, who will be introducing us the word of the day and the table topics, where we are going to take part in heart pumping and blood pumping table topics segment of impromptu speaking itself. After that, we will have a break, followed by prepared speeches and of course the evaluation, so that we can all learn together. So the theme for today, as mentioned earlier, is courage itself. So just to warm things up, and since everyone seems to be a little bit not warm up yet, let's go a little bit about an introduction around of what do you feel about the theme of courage itself. Willie, do you have something to say? I see that you are, oh, okay. So I think you are probably admiring my good looks. Teasing. All right, so maybe just to start the ball rolling, from my screen itself, I see Angela. Angela, perhaps you can give a short introduction as well as your opinion on courage itself.
Thank you, Thomas. Courage. We all want courage every day. Hopefully, I associate courage with very serious situations like going to battle. My favorite story of a speech was that Napoleon asked if he could address the other troops, which he was allowed to do, the opposition. And he told them that if they changed sides and fought on his side, he would do good things for them and they would do well. And they all changed sides and he won the battle. So he had the courage to speak to the opposition, and perhaps we should all have the courage to do that, to speak to people who are actually threatening to kill us. We don't face a battle like Napoleon, but we face our own battles. To me, that's courage. Back to you, Thomas.
Thank you so much, Angela, for sharing. And indeed, every day I am facing an immense battle of whether should I eat that cup of ice cream or not. So it is indeed sometimes very challenging and threatening itself. I'm just kidding. Of course, I know that you are being as ever positive and supportive, and certainly sometimes communication helps us to win the battle itself. So next up, we have our grammarian, Jennifer.
Hi. I don't need to introduce myself, right? Do I? Anyway, yes, I'm Jennifer. I'm tonight's grammarian. About courage. When Willie said, Jennifer, that was 2 weeks ago, you be the grammarian on the 6th of November. I told him, no way. Last Friday, he repeated and said, Jennifer, you are having the role of grammarian. I said, excuse me, did I hear it rightly? I needed courage. I really do. I needed courage to be a language evaluator. My first role. I'm not shy to say it. I don't profess to be a good English-speaking person. And I will try. I will do my very best. As I said, I needed this courage. And you people have now shown me some courage. So I'm going to do it. I will do it, and I will improve as I go along. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And we are certainly looking forward to your language evaluation. I'm sure you have that amazing learning attitude to make this language evaluation one of the most enriching ones which we will ever experience. All right, next up we have Corey.
For me, oftentimes in our relationship with friends or colleagues, we can keep saying yes when we mean no. Learning to say no does take the courage for me, because we might fear of getting rejection in the future, or we even fear that we might be rude to the other person. So until now, actually, I'm still learning how to be courageous in making decision in the daily life. Yeah. So yeah, back to you, Thomas.
Thank you for sharing, Corey. And indeed, sometimes in life we have to say no, and that's a form of practicing courage indeed. So the next time around when Willie asked me to be the Toastmaster of the day, all right, I see Edward has flashed the red light to me, so I guess I'm running out of time. But without further ado, let's give our energetic and enthusiastic warm welcome to our club president to do his delivery address. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The 10 of us, we have do one thing. We have come to Toastmaster to overcome the fear of what you see among other things are demonstrations of courage. So, Thomas, after 5 years, are you courageous to stand outside in public to give a speech to be the TME? Jennifer, be a Toastmaster of 1 year and 2 months. Are you courageous to stand in front in the public? I believe the word is yes. Corey, you have been a Toastmaster for 3 months, 2 months.
My God, 1 month only.
I mean, officially it's 1 month, but unofficial is 3 months. The moment you attend the first meeting.
My God.
Okay, are you courageous
2
to stand
months.
in front in the public to give a speech? Be with your eyes at the audience or still look at the floor? Or never mind. Standing in front of a group of tentative listeners makes most people feel vulnerable. It's also add a burden of responsibility, exceptionals, and opportunity. This can be overwhelming and outright scary. In Toastmaster, members acquire the habit of courage through encouragement and support, just as outward bound programs teach the habit of courage by putting people in life-threatening situations. Actually, what is outward bound? Outward bound is an outdoor activity where you climb over for the height for the sea, or you fly a parachute and you try to land on the floor. So this is where a life-threatening situation are. What is Toastmaster? Toastmaster is a sort of inward bound program as with skydiving or rock climbing. Speaking before an audience become easier the more often you do it. Our member often face an internal demo that paralyzes them with fear. When we first attend our first Toastmaster Club, we are all fearful. But the atmosphere brings us down. But we discovered that when the fear is faced and conquered, we are populate into a life with larger ambition. Written by Werner Toastmaster Michael Landrum is an article titled the habit of courageous in a Toastmaster magazine. We don't know when. He recommended the four tips to awake the internal demon. So actually, we have 4 demons. First, become other conscious. Don't focus on yourself and what the audience might think. Instead, replace your self-conscious with other subconsciousness. Try to focus on the audience. Find a single person in the audience and make eye contact. So who I make a contact with, so that I will not be fearful, I look at Jennifer. Or I go look at guys. Sorry, I'm not interested in guys. I look at girls. So I make contact with him or her. Stay with that person long enough. If you take responsibility for the audience understanding of your message, you will forget about your sweaty palm and knockiness. We all have sweaty palms, we are knocking palm, we have butterfly in our stomach, but all this we have already forgotten what is this. Be a Toastmaster for, let me see, how 6-7 years, I don't know what's that anymore. I only know that where I am prepared, this will come back. Anxiety feel worse than it looks. If you can retrain for calling attention to your fears and anxiety, nobody will know that. It's a classical case of fake it till you make it. Then drum say, act confidently and soon enough you feel confident. The third point here, I like, make it look easy. The audience want to hear the speech, not worry about the speaker. Be humble. It's not about you, it's about your speech. Your ideas and thoughts and how they benefit the listener are the most important. We don't care about your story or what you say. I mean, what mistake you make. We just want to hear your message. Deliver this with grace, style, and agility, but avoid ego building enhancement. A speech easier delivered is rarely received. Lastly, he mentioned that let yourself be encouraged. Don't be shy, anxiety, or overseas morals. Embrace the supportive environment of Toastmaster Club and knowledge of success. Learn to use so easy will extend to anyone. Persistence is the most useful version of the human heart. You never bitter until you admit it. Consider the example of Edie Roosevelt, who was by nature timid, introvert, and terrified of speaking in public. But before she was married to the US President Franklin Roosevelt, she had to speak in public often. She feared her fear and became one of the great speakers of the 20th century. Let her words inspire you on your journey. You can, okay, the last word, a quote for Elaine Roosevelt is, you can gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next day that come along. You must do the thing you cannot do, by Elaine Roosevelt. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that inspirational opening address, reminding us that Toastmasters is indeed an amazing platform for us to build courage so that we can impact and inspire the world. Thank you so much, Willie. So next up, we will have our language evaluator to share with us the word of the day. And for those of you who are not aware, the duty of the language evaluator is to assess the process of the chapter meeting in terms of the language usage and delivery. But I shall leave the elaboration to our language evaluator herself. So let's welcome from SGI Dynamic Speaker, Jennifer Lim.
I need to share my screen.
Can we make?
Can you enable? Right, good evening, Club President, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language as well as any outstanding phrases. It is my duty to introduce the word of the day. The word of today is audacious. As an adjective, it is showing a willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. Example, a series of audacious takeovers. Or showing an impudent lack of respect. Example, he made an audacious remark. As a noun, audacity is also a willingness to take bold risks. He whistled at the sheer audacity of the plan. Rude or disrespectful behavior, impudence. She had the audacity to suggest I have been carrying on with him. At the end of this, I will give a report later on who uses the word audacious, the word of the day, and also to point out any common mistakes that the audience or the speakers made, as well as I'll find good usage, the not so good usage, and any grammatical errors. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for introducing us the word of the day, audacious or audacity. And certainly it is something for us to use in our speeches regularly so that we can strengthen our command and control of the word. So personally, I feel that belly dancing can be quite an audacious activity. Do you agree with that, language evaluator? But I guess it depends on the practitioner herself. So for those of you who are not aware, our language evaluator is someone who is very fit, someone who loves to exercise, and one of the exercise she does is dancing itself. Really amazing. I think she's even fitter than me, looking at the rate she goes. But nonetheless, thank you for sharing the word, and let's use audacious as the word of the day. All right, so next up, we are going to have our table topics segment. So our table topics segment is essentially impromptu speaking, where we learn how to speak and think on the spot, so that in real life scenarios, we are able to adapt and adjust our communication skills as accordingly. And today we are privileged to have our club president himself as our table topics master. So let's give a warm welcome to once again our club president and table topic master, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Today's topic is current 20 table topic. Out of 20 table topic, 4 are reserved questions. Means that if you don't volunteer, I will choose you to speak. I know what are the topic. And if you want to take part in table topic, please write your name, Kiki in the chat. The first volunteer, I will not have a first volunteer. I will volunteer the person. Okay. The person who I volunteer will have to pick up the 4 reserved questions. Alicia.
Yes.
You have a choice to pick up 4 reserved questions. You can only pick the 4 reserved questions.
Okay, give me a minute.
I will off my
Table
video.
topic 15.
Okay, sure. It's better to be a liar for a day than a sheep. Over back to you, Alicia.
All right. Before I start, I'm looking for the timer. Where's the
The
timer?
timer is
Okay.
I am the timer.
I know. I want to pin you. All right. Side by side. All right. Don't start yet. Let me think. A very good evening to club president, to members and guests. I've got this topic. It's better to be a lion for a day than a sheep. Well, I totally agree with this statement. The reason being is that the lion is considered as the king of the jungle, whereas a sheep is like a nobody. It's many rings down the importance level. It's probably at the bottom 10. So how can a sheep compare with a lion? Given a choice, I'll choose to be a lion. That is the first reason, because the lion is the king of the jungle, okay? The second reason being that I don't have a lion's personality, okay? For sure, I'm not as fierce or outstanding leader as a lion. So if given opportunity, I will certainly pick the lion. Because in my timidness, don't think I'm very brave. I'm actually a very timid person. I'm half introvert and half extrovert. The lion is totally extrovert because it's the king of the jungle. So I will grab the opportunity to be the lion for a day, to taste how it feels to be the lion, the king of the jungle, and the meat eater, whereas a sheep is a vegetarian, if I'm not mistaken. So after enjoying being the lion for a day, I probably had enough, because a lion has too much action. As the king of the jungle, he can command so many people. And because he can command all the animals, he has too much responsibility. So that's why one day is enough to be the king. To be the lion. So at the conclusion, I would prefer to be the lion for just one day and the rest of my life to be a sheep, to be a common person that can do great things as well. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Alicia. I guess the liar of this club is who? No, who? Never mind. I will
Angela,
choose.
because Angela has long hair.
Yes. Okay, maybe the next person will be Angela. Choose topic 2, 6, and 12. 2, 6, and 12.
2.
You get in life what you have the courage to ask for.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the courage to ask for many things and I don't always get them. I ask for speaking slots and I don't always get them. But if you ask 100 times, even if you lost out 99 times, there'd be the 100th time and you got what you wanted. So it's always worthwhile asking because you never know. I've often asked for something and been told, oh, no, it's not possible. And then in the end, I got it. For example, once when I was a busy travel writer, I met somebody from a travel magazine, and I said, "Oh, I specialize in stories on weddings." And he said, "Oh, we don't need you. We have the editor of Brides magazine." I said, "Well, look, take my card anyway, and if you ever need me, I'm here for you." 6 months passed, and suddenly I got a phone call. "We need you. We need you in a hurry. The editor of Brides magazine has had an accident and she can't finish the job. Can we rush it over to you in a taxi and can you return it to us straight away as fast as you can?" "Yes, of course," I said, and I did it. If I hadn't persisted and asked, I would not have got that job. That's just one example, but you only need one example. I've heard many other stories of people who did something unexpectedly. They asked for something, they never thought they'd get it, and they did. You can't expect that every time you ask for something, you will automatically get it as a reward for your courage. You just have to look at life's lottery and say, sometimes, if I have the courage to ask, I will get something. I've heard of many people who had the courage to ask the girl they thought would say no and ended up married to her. And that was a very big change. So think of that happy thought next time you want to ask for something. Be prepared to lose, but be prepared to ask. Back to you, Mr. President and Toastmaster and topic.
Thank you, Angela, for. Okay, who is the next volunteer? Ahmad, you can choose any topic other than 2 and 50.
5.
5. My desire could not be higher.
Thank you, Toastmaster Willie. My desire could not be higher. The quotation is pessimistic thing. It means we can create desire on something. We can divide desire and need. If we need, it means we have to do, we have to get, like meal and food. We have to we have to eat for life. But if we want to go mountain, it is desire or want. In the past, for example, I didn't have desire to be urbanist. I mean, I live in city, because in the past I thought that urban is very crowded, not healthy, and of course traffic jam every day. But after I graduated from the university, I have big dream to get higher career, higher salary. So my desire to go to a city is changed. So I moved from village to city, and I think the desire we can create based on our dream. If we have dream, I think good dream, not bad dream, we can create desire and we can improve the step by step to get higher position, higher salary, of course, higher impact for other people. Back to you, Toastmaster Willie.
Anybody, you have a choice. You have been picked, and table topic 6 is your topic. Where are you, Lee? Okay. Lee is not available. Let me call Corey.
Oh,
Riding a
riding.
pair of steel dually roller coaster at 140 speed. 40 feet. Will you dare? Will you have the courage? The right words. Will you have the courage?
Good evening, Mr. Club President and fellow Toastmasters and guests. Last time, when I was visiting a Universal Studio, I was considered actually myself as an audacious person. I dare to try a new things, a new experience, especially some things that capture my attention. But depending on the heights, I could also try to measure the risk. Myself comparing to my husband is has a lower tolerance of the heights. So for me, I can take a very high roller coaster without high hesitate to embark on the journey. But for my husband, he's very afraid of the heights. So he never ever take a high roller coaster except for the children roller coaster. Even though I consider myself as an audacious person, but sometimes in life, for a daily to reject my good friends for meetup or appointment, sometimes it takes more courage rather than to embark on the high roller coaster in the Universal Studio or entertainment park. To me, courageous is something that we need to practice every day. But for a certain part of life, I could be an audacious person, but for certain part of my life, I could be a very timid person. So this area is still something that I'm still working on, and I hope I can be better and better through practice every day. As I also want to become more self-confidence in trying to say no whenever I'm not feeling comfortable, and have more courage to stand what I believe for. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster
Thank
Winnie.
you, Corey. Actually, 140 feet roller coaster is the lowest, is the highest in Singapore, but not the highest in the world. So we still have more to take. Okay. I have a very old member who have not attended meeting for a long time. Maybe we can ask her to come up and speak. Noriko.
Hi.
Any topic between 2, 6, and 15.
Hi. Okay. Table topic 10, please.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to eat, but few are willing to hunt.
Oh, okay. Good morning, good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. Everyone, including yours truly, want to eat, but few are willing to hunt. I think a lot of people, including me, don't want to do too much effort to do something, for example, to eating or doing job work or anything else. But I think we have to want to better food. I mean, the delicious, more delicious food, more expensive food, more good, better food. We have to do something special. I mean, make effort. But that means probably hunt. For example, I did the icebreaker speech a couple of months ago. It was terribly, I got terribly nervous at the time. I still remember how I got nervous at the time. But after that speech, I got something confidence and something. I was not audacious person, but after the icebreaker speech, I feel like I got be a little bit audacious person. So you can get something do seriously and make effort. You can get something special and much good food or dishes. I believe it. Thank you. Back to Willie.
Thank you, Noriko, who made an attempt after answer. Can we have the guest Naga to choose a topic?
Oh, yes. Topic 9.
Okay, copy. It's better to be it.
The shame.
Okay, never mind. Choose another topic.
Perhaps 19.
Okay, maybe I type. An injured lion will still want to roar.
Thank you, table master and the president for giving me an opportunity to talk on injured lion still want to roar. A good day to my fellow guests and the Toastmasters. I would like to ask you all, don't you have this experience of the saying, an injured lion still want to roar? Well, you all thinking about it, are trying to rekindle in your mind. Let me tell you, we won't be here if we are like the lion, injured, and have the courage to roar and come out. And we are the persons like to improve upon our conversation and get connected as a basic requirement of human to connect. And this is how we are here with all our difficulties, with all our busyness. We are here to improve upon it. Isn't it? There's a lot of injuries in us we have that make us feel the pain, and we roar, and we have the courage and audacity to improve our knowledge and art of communicating. Let me tell you of my experience. I am nobody. I was finding it very difficult in my primary school to come out a better student. However, I am able to do because I'm able to get over that and roar like a lion and what I am. And here I am in the international virtual field to communicate. And now let me rekindle you, all of you audience here would have tried to rekindle that in you. But the encouragement and the courage is given to us. Don't change that audacity to hurt people with experience gain. Let me pass back to the Toastmaster, Table Master. Thank you.
Thank you, Naga, for trying out. Anyone want to try? How about Abdul? Abdul, you want to try a topic? Only once?
Yes, I like to try.
Yes. Yes. What topic you want to choose?
Okay, let me get 13.
Okay. It's a leap of faith.
No matter what in life, we all have our up and downs. We have our lower self and our higher self. At times, I myself become in my lower self. Like for example, like yesterday, it just started coming to my mind, all these thoughts, negative things in my life. No matter how much I try to improve, which I'm gonna continue, it just comes to you. But then all of a sudden, you just have to smack your lower self and say, you know what? Be quiet. Thank you for anything and everything, but I got this. So you always have to remember to be on your higher self, which is your faith and believe in yourself. Because if you continue staying on your lower self, you become low. But if you continue and putting effort and trying to be on a higher self, that's when your faith grows. You have to always keep your faith within you and just do what you have to do to help others and yourself. But you have to help yourself first, and then you can help others. Without not helping yourself, how can you help other people? Because Obama, the president of the United States, he said that weakness, not asking for help, is a sign of weakness. And asking for help, it's a sign of strength. So we always have to use our strength to improve our faith. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul. Can
Thank
I
you.
have our guest Quang Ho to come in, to come and the last one will Libali will take over question 12. Any question other than 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12, 30, 50, 90? The rest you can take. The one that is way off. 12 is reserved for Libali.
Okay, sure. Give me 8, please.
Okay, thank you, Quang Ho. Fear less, dominate more.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, how often have we personally been limited by our own fears? Our fears, they are unreal. There are false beliefs appearing real. How many times do we want to raise our hands up and speak, but we are limited by our own fear? What if other people comment on me? What if I don't win the competition? What if someone says something bad about my speech? We have been faced with fear so many times in our lives. When we want to approach that girl and ask for her number, we fear. When we want to go and speak on stage, we also fear. When we want to go out and shake the hands of a rich businessman, sometimes we feel we are not good enough, we also fear. So ladies and gentlemen, are you victims of your own device? Are you victims of your own fear? And are you trapped inside the fear? So ladies and gentlemen, why not? From today onwards, let's change our mindset. Whichever we fear, anything that we fear, let's face it in the face, all right? Let's face fear and let's do it first. And this was what I did. Long time ago, I fear giving a speech in public. Every time people, my president asked me to give a speech in public, I tend to shy away, say, no, I can't. But then he said, you are the last one. So I have no choice but to take the stage and do my Project 1 speech. And after that, I still bomb. I still bomb for 6 minutes. And my president says, don't worry. If you can speak for 5 minutes, if you bomb for only 5 minutes instead of 6 minutes, you would have grown. You have improved by 1 more minute. So with that, my fear is reduced. And I took the stage 1 more time. And this time, guess what? I only bombed for 3 minutes. Not bad, right? So you just have to tolerate silence for 3 minutes. But after that, I faced fear, my fear of public speaking, and I continue to develop until I win the district champion. So ladies and gentlemen, you too can face your fear. face your fear and defeat it and dominate it. Back to you.
Thank you to our guest call for his.
I'll take one.
Fearful experience. Topic is here. Are you ready, Lee?
Sure, Mr. President, why not?
Yeah, a lion sleep in the heart of every brave man. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Who believes they've got a lion sleeping in their heart? Every one of us have a lion sleeping in our heart. Just like what Kwang Ho said, his lion was sleeping. So he thought he'll bomb for 3 minutes or 4 minutes. But that lion woke up and he was brave. He took the stage and he managed to conquer his fear. Eventually, on his way to district championship, who knows? I have fear as well. I have a fear that one day when I wake up, I will not be able to travel around the world. I love traveling around the world. I will wake up and I can't travel. Guess what? My fear has come to reality this year. I couldn't travel anywhere. But the lion in me that was sleeping said, no, I'm going to conquer the fear. I'm now going to zoom around the world instead. Or last week, I was going to broom around the world on my witch's broom. Ladies and gentlemen, just remember, there's always a lion asleep inside of us. When the right time comes, and the right moment comes, and the right thing or event happens, that lion will wake up and you will become brave. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hand up if you are going to be brave tonight. You are going to try table topics tonight. Sorry, I'm the last speaker, so next time maybe. So be brave tonight, okay? And tomorrow and the day after. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, Table Topics Master.
Okay, we have ended the table topic session. And can I have the timer's report? Can the timer list out in the timer in the chat window?
In the chat.
Who is disqualified?
Naga. Naga was the only one that went 244.
Okay, no problem. Then we do not vote for Naga. So I will launch a polling. Sorry, we try again because I think somebody click the ample. So we still got 3 more to go. Two more to go. Going off the poly is going to end in 3, 2, 1, and poly. Over back. Thank you for all who have taken part, who have not taken part, never mind. You'll take note who have not taken part, and next meeting you are be volunteer immediately. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
All right, thank you, Table Topic Master, for the highly engaging and enriching Table Topic session. And I love how he integrated the theme for today, courage, into every single topic so that it can reinforce the idea in us. And looking at which, the one who do not volunteer today will be volunteered the next session. I'm considering whether should I skip the next session or not. But nonetheless, thank you, Willie, for that amazing table topic session. And just a reminder for everyone that the word of the day for today is audacious or audacity. So do use the word for today's session so that we can strengthen our command and control of that word. So right now, we are supposed to have a 10 minutes break, but may I check with Mr. President due to the time right now? Should we proceed on with the 10 minutes break? Good. All right. So do we want to take a photo now or wait till the end? Wait till the end. All right. So let's have a 10 minutes break and please be back by 10:35 p.m. because we still have a lot of exciting programs ahead. We have prepared speeches as well as evaluation itself. So see all of you back at 10:35 p.m. Thank you. YES. Yes. Don't want any of you to miss out any of these exciting segments. Are all of you back? Back, key to the chat. YES. YES. All right, Jennifer, welcome back. Angela, welcome back. Awesome, awesome. Is our president back? All right, so everyone is back. Okay, so now we will move on with our prepared speeches segment. But just to share about some changes we have, that is for evaluator number 2, which is Kanan's evaluator. His allocated evaluator is not able to make it tonight, so we will have Angela to be his replacement evaluator instead. Other than that, everything will stay the same. All right, so for the speaker's reference, our timer for today is Edward. So when you are presenting, do remember to pin him so that you can keep constant track of the time itself. And remember that the word of the day is audacious or audacity, so try to use it in your speeches as well. All right, so now let's move on to the prepared speeches segment. So for the first speaker, she will be performing an icebreaker, which means this is her first speech. So may I invite the evaluator to share with us the purpose statement? Ahmad, are you there?
Yes, I read the purpose. The purpose statement. This project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. Thank you.
Thank you. May I invite the timer to share with us the timing sequence for this project?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mr. President, Toastmaster Topic Master, and Toastmasters and guests. The time for this speech is 4 to 6 minutes. I will be showing the green at 4, the yellow at 5, and the red at 6. That will be the time indication for this presentation. For the second presentation, that is a 5 to 7 minute presentation. Therefore, I will be showing the green at 5, the yellow at 6, and the red at 7. That is how these manual presentations will be timed. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Evening.
Thank you, Edward. So for Corey's speech, it will be 4 to 6 minutes. All right, so the title of her speech is A Journey into the Total Darkness of Egypt. once I read that title, it reminds me of all those mommy movies, mommy coming alive movies. So really wonder what she's going to share with us today. And here is her introduction. Corey is a passionate product designer. She loves to design usable and delightful product, be it app or website that helps people in their daily lives. In her free time, she loves to explore the best coffee in town, traveling to new places and taking photographs. Her favorite quote is, "Never stop learning because life never stop teaching." Let's give our warm welcome to Corey Melani.
An awesome evening to club president, distinguished Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. I was pregnant for the last 1 month with my icebreaker speech, and finally I'm delivering it today. 34 years ago, that was my first time I met my parents in this world. I have one younger brother at Jakarta, and I have been staying in Singapore for the last 10 years with my husband. When I was very young, I had an aspiration to become an air stewardess, but today I'm landed on the product design, designing an app and website for a grocery supermarket, FairPrice. But my passion for travel never dies. I'm considered as an audacious traveler, and I love to travel to see the world whenever possible. Today, I would like to share one of my travel diary, a journey into a total darkness of Egypt. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you ever hidden your fear when you travel into the unknown? Fear of heights and darkness, fear of safety and security. 2 years ago, I went on adventure to the Middle East with my husband. On the journey to Holy Land, we passed by Egypt. We had a chance to hike Mount Sinai. It is located 314 kilometers from Cairo. The mount is sacred in both Christian and Islamic religion. It is known as Mount Moses, where God had appeared and gave 10 commandments to Israelites. We embarked our journey to the Egyptian night, hoping to see a magnificent sunlight in the morning. We reached Mount Sinai at 1 a.m. and we were offered a camel ride to bring us to a certain upper part of the mountain. Our local guide was Bedouin, the desert dweller, with a long history in herding the camels. As it was a hike of rocky terrain in the pitch darkness, I was anxious. I couldn't see where I was going. The only thing I could do was to look up in the sky. The stars, my goodness, they shone with glittery brilliance in the total darkness of Egyptian night. As I gazed at the stars, I realized how amazing this universe was created. It's not by coincidence we have the sun and the stars to light our path in the day and the night. There is a mastermind behind this universe. I was told that the camels that I'm riding were trained at least a year before it could carry passenger. Camels are very sensitive in the darkness. I was thinking, oh boy, I hope you didn't cheat in your final training because now my life depends on you. I was fully aware that we were in the midst of climbing up the narrow path of the mountain. A few missteps could lead to a dangerous fall down. I was trying to hide my fears throughout the journey. After a long, grueling journey, we reached to a small local resting point. I was surprised I could find a hot coffee at this place. I was half freezing. The icy wind of the night sneaked into my body, and I couldn't continue the journey. I don't have the gloves to keep my hands warm. Me and my husband walking down the Rocky Mountains by foot, and the stunning sunrise greet us along the journey. It was the climb of a lifetime. It wouldn't be possible if I just spent the night at the hotel and didn't have the courage to hike the mount in the darkness, as there is always light after darkness. So, my friends, leave the fear of height and darkness, safety and security somewhere in the corner of your hearts. Pump up your courage to travel into the unknown. Your adventure awaits. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Wow, thank you so much, Corey. That was really such an amazing speech. And she is certainly a spectacular storyteller. When she is delivering that speech, I was feeling as if I'm part of her story, imagining those experience itself, the delivery, the words usage, they were just on point. So it's unbelievable that this is just her first speech. Looking forward to so much more delights from her itself. Thank you so much once again for sharing, Corey. All right, now our second speaker will be attempting Strategic Relationships Level 2, Learning Your Style, Cross-Cultural Understanding. May I invite her evaluator to share with us the purpose statements?
Thank you, Thomas. Purpose of the project is for the member to identify his or her cultural identity and associated stereotypes. A culture is defined as a group in which a person associates. Some examples include a country of origin, gender, being a member of a profession, a religious affiliation, an animal lover, or a sports fan. And we look forward to hearing a speech about this. And the speech has to be well organized, share an aspect of the cultural identity and the impact that stereotypes of others have of him. It can be humorous, informative, or any style. And we look forward to hearing it. I don't know what the title is, but I expect we'll hear shortly.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Angela. So the timing sequence will be 5 to 7 minutes. Our timer have gave a sneak preview earlier, so we will pass on with that. And the title of his speech is Be Aware of the Cross Culture. So the speaker is someone who truly epitomized the passion for learning, because he has been delivering speeches after speeches after speeches with as much enthusiasm and energy itself. And he always strives to become better and better. Hence, his spirit for learning is certainly something which we can emulate closely with. Let's give a warm welcome to distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Shankara.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, for introducing me so nicely, and Madam Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest. I have migrated from India to Middle East, to Singapore, to Malaysia, to Australia, settled in Australia, and moved in USA. My wife is expert in packing the things. First of all, let us understand what is culture. Culture is made of beliefs, language, value, knowledge, and way of life a group of people shares. We express our culture through many things like foods, celebration, music, art, laws, customs, ritual, language, and even speaking. Culture is not taught. It is we learn from our parents, our society, and we learn by living. Our culture and life experience determine how we make our decisions. Example, in Asia, generally parents make the decision for the kids. In US or the Western countries, the kids make the decision for the parents. We decide what is wrong or right. which is respectful or disrespectful based on our culture. When we move from one culture to other culture, like what I did from India to Australia, we need to understand about the culture where we move. For example, in Middle East, it is not allowed to eat meals outside during the month of Ramadan. You can't eat outside when during the daytime. Only kids and sick people are allowed. If we go to Middle East, we need to observe that. Otherwise, it is considered that we are not respecting their faith. In India, if you see, we were taught to sit on the floor from our childhood and eat with our right hand. We use the right hand because that is the right hand to do the good things. But when I migrated to Australia with my wife, we had tough time to learn to use the knife and fork. In restaurants, we can't use the hand for eating. And it was easy for us to use the spoon for the soup, but we could not use, for example, spaghetti. Even though it's a vegetarian item, we don't know how to eat with spoon and fork. But when we moved to USA, things have changed. In USA, nobody cared. People eat with their hand, people eat with a spoon, even in the high-end restaurant. I'm going to call two incidents from my life that I am going to share with you where the people have gone wrong. I was a IT director. I was managing a group of people, and we went for the offshore on-site model. You know, we take resources from India. In India, if you keep the food in a conference room in the middle, it is considered that the food can be shared by everyone. Whoever wants to take it, they can share it. The people generally share those food. But when you come to US, you can't take whatever is lying on the table unless they say share it. Unfortunately, this rule they don't know, they did not know. One of my team member saw the food lying on the conference table of the kitchen. He thought it is food for share. He ate with all his friends. The lady who kept the food after some time came looking for her food. She was so annoyed because she cooked for her food for her friends. That was taken by this team. Then we have to manage to buy some food. We had to say, oh, we did not know that. This is a new rule, etc., etc. But this team, it was a mistake of the team. When you are going to a new place, they should know the culture. Another incident, I was a culprit. I was the IT director, another project. I used to give great presentations, not speaking. Public speaking is different. IT presentation is different. You will be sharing the presentation. You will be walking through the timeline and the risk, mitigation strategies, etc. I shared this presentation with my team, with my leadership team. Everybody said, wow, great presentation. Come and go for it. I went to the VPs and the stakeholders of that company where I was supposed to present it. Everybody was eager to look at my presentation. I had all the presentation I've shared, and I went through line item by line item. Fellow Toastmasters, I forgot to tell, that was the first time I went to America, from Australia to America in Detroit. The VP, IT directors, everybody was there. I was giving my presentation, giving the timeline, thinking that I'm a PMP, I can do this. I went line item by line item, everybody was saying. Suddenly I saw the confusion with these people. They say, you are taking so much of time. I said, how? I am taking 3 days. No, it is 3 months. Then only I realized in Australia and in India, we use date, month, year as the format. For example, if it is 6th of June, okay, 5th of June, we will put 5, 6, 1990, like that, 5, 6, 1990. In USA, we put 6, 5/1990. We put the month first. So all my presentation, I use the format the date, month, year, whereas they are seeing month, date, and year. So they are thinking it is taking 3 months. I am taking as 3 days. So there was a confusion. That was my fault because I should know that the American uses the month first, not the date. So nowadays I've started developing the habit of putting 05-June, JUN-2020, so that there is no confusion. So fellow Toastmaster, why I'm saying that, when you are moving to a new place, you need to know what is a culture. Unfortunately, people think their way is the right way. Thinking that someone else is wrong and we are always right leads to cross-cultural misunderstanding. Cross-cultural understanding is more than realizing another culture is different from others. We need to respect that culture. We need to make sure that we understand every culture is great and we need to respect others. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Kana, for sharing with us such a robust and really experience on cross-cultural exchange. And indeed, this is something which we certainly have to learn, because through this pandemic period itself, the world has certainly come closer. And it is important for us to truly understand the culture of others. It is through this platform itself that I know someone from Australia who loves to drink tea, or I know someone from British who loves to dress in flamboyant clothes. So it is truly essential for us to learn about all these different skills so that we can make the exchange even more fulfilling and fun. Thank you for sharing. All right, now our third speaker will be attempting innovative planning level 2, learning your style, connect with your audience. May I invite the evaluator to share with all of us the purpose statement. The evaluator is Kana.
Me? I'm sorry, I did not know that I was the evaluator. Can you tell me who is it? Yeah, no problem. I can evaluate, but tell me what is this speech?
I mean, if you need a break, maybe we can have someone else to be an evaluator.
Okay, thank you.
Because I see a veteran Toastmasters right here. Tan Kwang Hong, will you like to take up the challenge? And that's why he is the amazing Toastmaster with, ever ready to deliver. All right, so maybe someone can send Kwang Hong the purpose statement, or maybe the speaker himself can share the purpose statement for Kwang Hong's reference. We can certainly learn a lot from him. That's why I choose to volunteer him. Yeah, so Ahmad, maybe you can read your purpose statement for Kwang Hong to take reference from. Yeah, do unmute yourself. I think he's trying to unmute. All right, good.
I will open my okay. The purpose of this project is for member to practice the skill needed to connect with unfamiliar audience.
That's all? All right, so essentially it's to practice to connect with an unfamiliar audience. All right, so Kwang Hong, good? Okay, that's awesome. So the timing sequence will be the same as the previous speech, which is 5 to 7 minutes. I don't have the title right now, so maybe Ahmad, you can share with us the title later. But what I know from Ahmad is he's someone who is really enthusiastic in the movement, because he has been delivering a lot of speeches as well. And he's someone who's always there to help out. Very helpful, very nice of him. Whenever he is able to value add, he will be there to value add. And from the way he delivered his speech, we know he put in a lot of effort to do it itself. So that's really very commendable. So without further ado, let's welcome Ahmad Noor Hasim.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas. Where is the timer?
The timer is Edward. So he's currently having a white background with the Toastmaster logo on top. Can you see him?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Let's go.
Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow guests, and member of Toastmaster. The key to change is let go of fear. Are you loser or winner? When we have more fear than courage, we will never go forward. We are human, we have fear. If we can press the fear, we can improve our courage. All of us had a moment in our life when fear stopped us from doing something. Whenever that was setting up the first date with your boyfriend or girlfriend, buying a new house or car, or moving new job, or creating new business. Think about a time in your life when fear stopped you in your tracks. What thought ran through your head? What emotion did you experience? I would like to share my story about how to beat my fear. Some fear is good thing. It is natural response to threat, real threat. For example, at the moment, I think fear is important to protect our body from coronavirus. If you fear of coronavirus, need you don't need to go to crowded people on many people meeting. And many of us fear of three things: failure, rejection, and criticism. When we in our mind that other people will critique us, reject our idea, maybe we will fear. And I have real experience in how to fear trap me in bad situation in Singapore. Several years ago, I attended a workshop in Singapore for 2 weeks. All speaker and trainer and participant spoke only English. There is no interpreter. And I was only Indonesian. And every day we had many discussion about many topic in Singapore. In the greeting moment, I just said that my name is Ahmad. I'm from Jakarta. I didn't have confidence about my English. In the first week, I didn't know other word. My language, my English was so little. My vocabulary was so little. I was not confident in ability to speak English. That was tremendous for me. Can you imagine? I was stuck in the middle of class of Englishmen informal meeting for 14 days and I couldn't speak English. When during the 2 weeks, I just listen. I wanted to speak up, but my mouth closed. Grammar, vocabulary was trouble for me. And it was like a nightmare. I was afraid to other people couldn't understand what I said. I was afraid other people would criticize my idea. So I was stressed out. My face red and my brain is stuck. After I arrived in Indonesia, no, before one day before I went to Indonesia, I read in my diary, Ahmad, you have to learn more. You have to speak English well. In Jakarta, I shared English course. I signed up a year English course in university in Indonesia. I spent my salary about 4 months. I thought that it is biggest investment for learning new skill. Unfortunately, I was busy in the working. In the first month, I went to the coast, but after that, I seldom went there because my office is, I have money work in my office in the summertime. Finally, I lost my money and I couldn't speak English well. Ladies and gentlemen, one day I found technology in smartphone about English. It is part of education English. So I buy, it is very cheap, only $100 from the smartphone. I listen, speak, I repeat many sentences from the speech. Every day, I use the smartphone, speak from elementary speaking to middle speaking. Yes, my teacher is application. Technology like this. I can repeat many sentences and then my confidence improve after I repeat in front of mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to learn something and kill your fear. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Ahmad, for that heartfelt speech and sharing with us of such a strong message to all of us for us to apply. And I must truly commend Ahmad because English is not his first language, yet every session we see him trying his best to do his best and deliver his best. So his learning and his passion is certainly something for us to learn from. Thank you once again, Ahmad. All right, so now moving on to our final speaker, he will be attempting Dynamic Leadership Level 1 Mastering Fundamentals. May I invite the evaluator to share with us the purpose statement?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening. The purpose of Peter's project tonight is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and then apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of his speech tonight is to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you. The timing sequence will also be 5 to 7 minutes, so we will skip that. And the title of his speech is From Leads to Leadership. So this Toastmaster is one of the foundation of SGI Dynamic Speakers Toastmasters Club. He is a passionate Toastmaster who had grown from Toastmasters to Division Director of the Year for 2016 to 2017. And even right now, he continues to charter new clubs. So let's give a warm welcome to Peter Ng.
Mic test. Can everybody hear me?
Good.
Okay, wonderful. So this is a concise version of my entire speech on Sunday, which is supposed to last 1 hour, because I don't think you have 1 hour to listen to me. I'm going to go quick, and I've summarized a few points. So here we go. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, and good evening, Mr. President. From leads to leadership, that's my speech today. To begin, I would like to ask all of you, what is your definition of leadership in Toastmasters? Is it to stand up and talk about what you have done in Toastmasters? It means being good and telling others what to do? Well, if that's the case, I have plenty of trophy to show that I have done a lot in Toastmasters. And I could just go on telling you which year, at which point I received this trophy and that trophy for whatever I've done. Or is it to stand up and speak with inspiration and be outstanding in speech making to influence others? Maybe it is to stand up, to speak up, and to show and guide others to their path of success. Now, throughout the past 6 years that I've been in Toastmasters, I find this one event within Toastmasters that has changed my life at the same time many others. That is my ability to find leads and qualify them, to bring them into the fold of Toastmasters and to continue helping them grow as a Toastmasters club. Now, why do I say that? How can introducing others into Toastmasters be a rewarding event and be life-changing for that matter? I want you to take a moment and consider the very first time you attended a Toastmasters meeting. Was it through somebody's introduction? Or was it you have heard somebody talk about Toastmasters? Or was it because you were Googling it and happened to chance upon Toastmasters? Now I've given you 3 options. I'd like you to raise your hand as I request or I repeat what I've just told you again. Number 1, somebody invited you to Toastmasters. Can I have a show of hands to see how many of you were invited to Toastmasters by someone? Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. And what about you heard somebody talk about Toastmasters and you decided to walk into a Toastmasters meeting? Anybody? Okay, as well. So, okay, there are 3 of you. And you just happened to chance upon Toastmasters on Google because you were just Googling for stuff to learn on how to speak. 1 of you, 2 of you. Good. So it is always that someone special that have introduced, for most of you, to have introduced you to Toastmasters, that brought you to Toastmasters. Now, if I were to ask you to recall that somebody's name, can you recall them? Well, by a show of hand or by wave of hand, yes, you can recall that person. And you probably recall that person for life as long as you stay with Toastmasters, won't you? I take it as a yes, because there's going to be so many questions I'm asking you. Because for me, it is. It is so. I was attending a course. It was a basic marketing course some 20 years ago. And somebody within the class was talking about, Peter, I think it'll do you great if you would attend a Toastmasters meeting and find out what it can do for you. And since you're embarking on this career in sales and marketing, speech making, communication is important to you, you should definitely come and join me. Now, I definitely remember that person's face and image. But since I only prepared this speech about half an hour ago, I'm trying very, very hard to recall his name. In any case, that Toastmasters Club, the Marketing Institute of Singapore, did not last long because it's mainly funded by the society. It closed off, I think, 3 years afterwards. And ever since, I've been detached from Toastmasters for a long, long period of time. Until some 6 years ago, as I was searching for my identity in life, because I've just completed a phase of my life where I hit a reset button in life. Or basically, I've lost everything I had in the business venture that went sour. So, in the search of this new identity that I'm creating for myself, I've decided to embark on something that I did not complete years ago. That is my Toastmasters speech. I wasn't even a competent communicator back then for the 2.5 years I was with Marketing Institute of Singapore. So I went Googling and I found Toastmasters of Singapore. Toastmasters Club of Singapore in Sheraton Towers. Now I went to the club, attended the entire meeting, sat at the corner of a room quietly, and then at that moment, I see something. Not because of the 2015 speech made by, well, you know who made that speech. I see something in you. But it was truly that I see something for myself in Toastmasters of what I can do if I were to complete at least a competent communicator training. Immediately after the meeting ended, I went up to the president then, Vicky Su. No, hang on. It wasn't Vicky Su. Vicky Su was the vice president of education. And I signed up with Vicky Su and became a Toastmasters. After my completion of my competent communicator, Vicky Su was the president of the club, and she invited me to join her team of the committee and become the vice president for membership. Of course, being a huge club, Toastmasters has almost, at that point in time, 140 members. Even to want to serve the club, we have to stand for election. And we have to stand in front of all the members in the AGM to state our purpose, our intent of wanting to take up the role and how we intend to help the club. After 1 year of growing membership in the club, I realized it's so rewarding because not only do I see many of these new members that joined the club has grown from strength to strength by improving in the way they communicate in our day-to-day meetup session. You see, in the big club, in the hotel that we are, we have a good half an hour to 45 minutes of networking over coffee, tea, and light snack before we go into the actual meeting. And in Toastmasters Club of Singapore, we have a 10 minutes to 15 minutes break, depending on who is organizing the meeting, in between. And that's a second round of interaction with all the members. As the vice president of membership, I realized a lot of the members has actually benefited from this program. So I thought to myself, why stop there? What? Right at that point in time, a few months later, Vicky approached me and asked me to run as a president of the club. In a huge club with 100 members, there are bound to be past president, a group of past presidents that will evaluate the suitability of the candidate for the club. And after going through rounds of interview, I was invited to be a nominee as a presidential nominee would be the right word, and run for the president. To cut a long story short and fast forward to today, completed my role as a president, and then I was offered the opportunity to become a division director. Some people ask me, why didn't you take up the role as an area director? I have no idea. It just fell onto my lap because the candidate that was supposed to stand for it just doesn't want to stand for it because he had to run against another party, another person who's vying for the position. And at the edging of many Toastmasters, I've decided to take it on. Now, what has that got to do with the getting leads for Toastmasters? Throughout all the elections I've gone through, I realized that in order to get more people to support you in whatever you do, you got to not only stand up, speak up, show and guide others to their path of success as a VPM. I got to want to do it. And I was able, willing, and ready to do it. So I was moving from places to places. That means companies to companies. I talked to many strangers on the street about starting their club. And to illustrate a few examples, I started Procter & Gamble in Singapore out of a chance commuting on public transport. I started talking about Toastmasters on why I love it so much, why I enjoy it so much. At that point in time, I was still the president running for election for the division director role. I wasn't even the division director. There's no need for me to charter club because I wasn't even ready as a DTM. Not to mention that I just completed my competent communication program. So interestingly, that finance person from Procter & Gamble invited me to the office and I started creating a demo meeting, and it went through after a few months. Then came DBS, Standard Charter, Shell, my old company, Siemens. In totality, I sponsored, mentor, and coach approximately 12 clubs during the term of my presidency at Toastmasters Club Singapore and as a division director for Division Q. Still, that doesn't tell you how it's rewarding. Now, what truly became rewarding for me was when I see these members at the corporate club, at the special interest clubs, get to improve through their public speaking, their communication skills, and I see the change in their life as well. Not only were they able to get hitched, find the partner of their life, I saw bank managers, when they first joined the club, when I edged them on to become president, become VP of the president. In other instance, I see individuals who discover that they have a talent in speaking and decided to take on gigs like being a voiceover artist. And eventually, now during the pandemic, when they lose their job, they are having a side gig that helps them in their life. as a voiceover artist, I've seen even individuals who, as a result of joining the club, became a business owner. Now, why then is it rewarding and why then is it life-changing for me? And some of them continue to remain in contact with me, remain in communication with me. And I'm glad to say that, during this past few months of pandemic, I'm even striking business deals with them, helping organizing events that would benefit both their business and my business. So that is on the wealth perspective. Now on the relationship side, I get to know them a lot better in person. Their family members, when they get married, we are talking about it. When they're having their firstborn, I'm being informed about it. Now, even though during this pandemic, I don't get to meet a lot of people in person. But the very fact that I see the change in all these people's life tells me I should continue looking for leads and qualifying them as Toastmasters, because the communication program in Toastmasters does help change lives. So moving on, I would like to talk about old ways that we communicate or that we look for leads and qualify them. In the traditional way, we meet them in person, we talk to them, we invite them to physical meeting, or we attend special parties, interest parties, or events, or even maybe organize speech craft. But all these traditional ways are being challenged today, especially in the COVID-19 situation. So in the new ways of doing things, since all of us attend so many virtual webinars, it is always possible for us to attend webinars and invite them to your meeting. I continue to talk to many strangers because I'm in many special interest groups as I share myself in video, not just pictures and words on social media. I create video, I post my video and talk about it. I invite them to our virtual meetings. Now, instead of just special interest party, basically there are only 5% that can turn up, not even 8 yet. Oh, got it. I'm going to wrap it up. I say we can form special interest community and give free live talk and social media that not only will help you with your Toastmasters Club, and I believe it will help you in your business, your career, and your job. All right, back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Peter, for your really very detailed sharing about your transformational journey in Toastmasters and how you eventually find fulfillment in it. So we have come to the end of the prepared speeches segment. May I invite the timer to share with us the timing report? All right, so our timer has input the timing report in the chat. We have Corey at 4 minutes and 44 seconds, Kanan at 7 minutes and 45 seconds, Ahmad at 7 minutes and 11 seconds, and Peter at 17 minutes and 53 seconds. So I would see that Kanan and Peter are not eligible. Do we still go on with the voting? No, so our president has decided not to give any pardon, but that is being the professional he is today. Okay, so for now, we will have a 10-minute break before we go on with our project evaluation segment so that the project evaluator will have sufficient time to curate their evaluation. So please be back by 11:38. So see you soon.
Peter, how long was your...
10:30 or 11:30? Hello?
And it is certainly audacious of us not to use the word of the day, audacious, because our language evaluator has placed in a lot of effort to break down the definition and the usage of the word of the day. So we should appreciate her effort by using it more effectively and consistently. All right, looks like everyone is back. So now we will move on to the project evaluation segment, where evaluators will assess the speeches earlier in terms of the excellent area and the enhancement area, so that we can all learn together in an effective manner. So may I invite the timer to share with us the timing sequence of project evaluation. Edward, you need to unmute. 2 to 3 minutes. Show us the 2 to 3 minutes.
Yes, the evaluation time is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing the green background. At 2.5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow. And at 3 minutes, I'll be showing the red background for the evaluation. Back to you, Toastmaster Feeling.
Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, Edward. All right, so now our first evaluator will be evaluating Corey's speech. And today he has a dual role, because earlier on we have heard him speak, and right now he's going to do the evaluation itself. And certainly, like what I said earlier, he's truly someone who loves to learn, and grabs hold of any opportunity for him to practice and grow. So let's give a warm welcome once again to Ahmad Noor Hasim.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas. Congratulations for Corey. Your speech is wonderful. Overall, your message is clear. The structure is good, and the story is very interesting. I will evaluate of your speech in 3 parts. The first is you use personal story. Your story is very inspired me how to go to Egypt. And you start from your story from personal story, your hobby, your work, your ambition, and your journey in Egypt. The second is you use good body language when you spoke about night, your face like this. And the last one is you use clear word, clear structure, and as Indonesian, my language is my English language is third language for me. I can understand what you say, and I encourage you to use vocal variety. You can use the vocal variety to expression of your feel when you happy, when you sad, and maybe when you not sure about what you say in Egypt. Overall, I like your speech. Personal story is great, and we can learn from your speech. Back to you, to Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Ahmad, for that informative and insightful evaluation. I'm sure Corey has learned a lot from your sharing itself. All right, our second evaluator will be evaluating Kanan's speech. And she is someone who is everywhere. You can see her clubbing from different clubs to clubs to clubs. And I would say she's someone with also a very positive and vibrant personality. And it can also be represented by her suits of colorful different dresses which she has post on social media every single other day. But other than that, her personality is certainly something which complements that. And let's give a warm welcome to Angela Lansbury.
Thank you so much, Thomas, for that lovely
So what is
introduction.
actually the
Did somebody want to say something?
No, go ahead. Edward, maybe you can restart the timing. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Thomas, for that lovely introduction. Well, Canon, I was waiting with great enthusiasm and I was repaid because Canon told us about America, where I have lived, India I have visited, and Australia I have visited. He spoke with great enthusiasm. He told us stories about food and about writing the date, and he also mentioned in passing how you use one hand or another, and knives and forks, and his own trouble and how spoons were helpful, which was very insightful. I'd never heard that before about spoons. He had good structure to his speech. He had an introduction, stories, and then a conclusion. From the beginning, I was enraptured by his background photograph of India. And my first suggestion is that since he moved from India to Australia and then America, perhaps he could also show something of Australia and America to fix the visual in our minds so that years later we would remember his speech and what he'd said about each particular place. Whether it is a flag or a map or a hat or a picture of the destination, something he could hold up to indicate where he is at each point in the story, I thought would be helpful. Now, what else could he do to bring the speech to the next level? If it was in a contest, I'd say it needs a motto. Something like, he said his title was Beware of the Other Culture. I think it's something alliterative. Keep tabs on other cultures. And then he could keep repeating that. When I went to Australia, I learned I ought to keep tabs on other cultures. When I went to Australia, I realized you should keep tabs on other cultures. That brings me on to my last suggestion, which is that what is the message for us? What can we do to avoid the mistakes he made? What is he doing now to avoid them? Where can we go on the internet to find out this vital information? Can he recommend any websites, any books on etiquette in other countries? And possibly even a handout with possibly 3 slides or 3 books, one for each country, would be helpful. And that would absolutely put the icing on this perfect already, but could be even better speech. I look forward to the next speech because he's got so much to tell us.
Thank you so much, Angela, for that highly animated evaluation, and with that positivity exuding from it, it will really make the speaker feel so much better, motivated and elevated by your evaluation itself. Thank you so much, Angela. Really appreciate it. All right, so our third evaluator will be evaluating Ahmad's speech. And he's someone who I would certainly consider legendary in the training and public speaking field. If you think that you have seen someone smart, wait till you know the number of degrees and certifications he has. So Dr. Lee Buckley, today you are going to meet your all right. International speaking professionals attain mastery in public speaking, peak performance, and career growth. And he's a multiple time champion speaker in different categories itself. So let's give a warm welcome to distinguished Toastmaster Tang Guang Hong.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, for your very flattering introduction. All right, and especially to you, Ahmad. Now, Ahmad, I really love your speech very much. And to evaluate your speech, let me share with you the Ahmad technique. Okay, have you heard of Ahmad technique in Toastmasters? You will hear it now. Now, Ahmad, the A stands for audaciously authentic. Your speech is very real. It is the real you. You connected with the audience because you managed to show your real self. And because your speech is about fear, you actually walk the audience through the fear you felt. And therefore, I felt you really connected with me heart to heart because you are audaciously authentic. And that is the A in public speaking. People like to listen to authentic speakers, and you fit the bill. You are one of them. H stands for your hunger to grow. Throughout your speech, I could sense your audacious fighting spirit. Like, for example, how you traveled to Singapore, how you find different ways and means to learn English language, and how you try to practice the word again and again so that this word become accustomed to you. So I felt a very strong sense of hunger to grow, and that definitely spoke to my heart. The next one, H, is also humility. You shared a lot about your humble self. Now, even though you recognize that English language is not your first language, but you manage to humble yourself. And because of that, it brings out credibility. It captures the hearts of an unfamiliar audience. So I felt that was perfect. That was very fantastic. Next, M in your name. The M is message. You had a very powerful message in which you tied in the introduction and the conclusion, right? Your message was about fear, and we fear the fear of failure, rejection, and criticism. You set the context very well, and in the end, the conclusion tied up with the entire speech, and you use your story as a supporting material to support your message. So I thought you have a very intelligent structure. Of course, to bring this to the next level, we need to study story archetypes. Okay, next, A. The A in your name stands for audience, all right? This speech purpose is about finding a common element familiar to the audience, about understanding the audience preference and personalities and adjusting your speech to them. And I felt you chose a very intelligent topic because no matter what our preferences are, no matter what our personalities are, you chose a topic that is familiar to us. That's something that we can resonate with. Well done on that. And finally, D. D is dynamic. Now, how do we bring some form of dynamism to your speech? The easiest way is to work on your voice, your vocal variety. All right, start working on your voice. For example, during the part where you struggle to pronounce the words from the app, you have to repeat it again and again. You could use a little bit of vocal variety. For example, okay, exciting, okay, exuberant. Okay, so you try to illustrate how you actually use this to your advantage. So there you have it, Ahmad. The Ahmad, audaciously authentic, hunger to grow, good audience, okay, good message, and dynamic persona. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmasters Tan Kwang Hong, for that audaciously amazing evaluation. And it's just a wonder how he still managed to maintain his energy and enthusiasm at this timing of the day. Really amazing, full of valuable tips and techniques for Ahmad to bring his speech to the next level. Thank you once again. All right, so our final evaluator will be evaluating Peter's speech. And she is none other than our queen from SGI Dynamic Speaker. And although she's already such a competent speaker and communicator, she's a really enthusiastic learner because you can see her visiting many other different clubs, attending many other different workshops, which truly embodies her passion for learning as well. And sometimes these workshops are like 3 a.m. in her country itself. I'm like, what? But without further ado, let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, for your audacious introduction. I hope I live up to the expectations. Peter, what an audacious effort tonight to compress a 1 hour workshop into a 5 to 7 minute speech. Peter, you spoke clearly and at a good pace. I love your DJ voice. You also had good presence in front of the camera where the audience could see all your facial expressions. I also love how you demonstrated elements of good storytelling. You took us on a roller coaster ride, success in chartering clubs, and then all of a sudden you had to hit reset. You lost everything in business venture that went sour, and then how you managed to climb back out of that. The challenge in this situation is for you to be able to compress your 1 hour speech or workshop into a 5 to 7 minute speech. How can you do that? Think of this as an elevator pitch. You have to have a strong opening, three key points, and you end with a strong conclusion. All of that package within the 5 to 7 minutes. How can you do that? What I took away from your speech were the three key points, plus a tip at the end for your workshop. So what I took away was, first, we must be able, willing and ready to do it. In order to be able to get more people to support, you need to stand up, you need to speak up, you need to show them the path to success. So point one. Point two, it must be a rewarding experience for us. You saw how members, corporate members as well as special interest club members improve and change. You also saw business owners change. Bank managers change their lives. Three, you build connections. You saw them getting married, their firstborns, and even, you build and continue your relationship beyond the Toastmasters Club. And then what I like at the end, you threw in, think of the new normal. We've got virtual platforms. We can now connect. That's more leads for you for Toastmasters. So all of that succinctly into 5 to 7 minutes. I would like to challenge you to be more audacious, have more vocal variety, facial expressions, humor. For example, when you couldn't remember someone's name, just say, oh, it's old age. I remembered 30 minutes ago, but I can't remember now. So throw in humor rather than saying, I'm sorry, I prepared my speech 30 minutes before. Okay? You don't need to explain at the beginning as well. We all knew that you were going to talk about the workshop. What I would also suggest to add credibility and integrity to yourself is Dhananjaya's speech. I saw something in you. I see something in you. So instead of, if you can't remember the year, because you mentioned an incorrect year and the name, just go, remember that speaker? I see something in you. Okay? And then everyone would tend to go, oh, yeah. Okay? So you just lead on from there. And lastly, I love how you ended with a key message, not just within Toastmasters, but you can use public speaking to grow your business, your career, and your job. So well done, Peter. Please make sure, give us that elevator pitch. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Your Highness. That's indeed a royal evaluation itself. And I'm certainly, Peter has benefited so much from your insightful sharing. All right, so we have come to the end of the project evaluation segment. May I invite the evaluator to share with us the timing report? And our timer is so efficient because he have key in, and everyone qualifies from what I see, with Lee Buckley, our queen, teetering right on the second itself. So may I invite the facilitator to launch the voting? But of course, I know that all of us today are winners because we have learned so much from all the spectacular speakers and evaluators. Gems after gems after gems of knowledge and sharing itself. So I am sure that today we are all winners one way or another. All right, so the poll is out. Please choose for your choice of who the best evaluator will be. And while all of you are making that tough decision, I would love to introduce the next segment, which is the language evaluation. Someone has been audaciously being attentive of listening to our language usage and delivery for today, and listening to how often and how accurately we use the word of the day, audacious. And that requires an audacious amount of attention. So we should truly appreciate our language evaluator for audaciously doing this. And right now, to introduce her, she is a Toastmaster, a leader, a speaker, and of course, not forgetting a belly dancer. Let's welcome Jennifer Lee.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Wow, I didn't expect that the segment is now for me to make a report. Can you imagine the number of pieces of papers I've been using? I cannot profess that I'm very good in English, but I do my best and I'll try. Okay, so excuse me and also do correct me. I could be wrong, but I'm doing my best. It is a real challenge, to be honest with you. A real challenge to keep up because I got to listen so attentively to everyone, practically everyone, except myself, of course. Right, I will now start with the report. Maybe pieces here and there, but I will do my best. Thank you for using the word of the day. For some of them, I expected more, but maybe this word is a bit difficult, probably. But nevertheless, next time I'll give an easier word of the day. So Thomas, thank you very much. Of course, you are being the Toastmaster of the day and you use a lot. 8 times. Thank you a lot. Thanks. Noriko, you use it 3 times. Tan Kwan Hong, 3 times. And Lee Buckley, 3 times. Thanks a lot for that. Now, for the good usage of English, well, I try to actually do some of them. First, we have someone saying, I was pregnant for the last 1 month with my icebreaker speech, and finally I'm delivering it today. Wow, it's a kind of personification, using the speech as a personification. You were pregnant and now you're delivering it. Wonderful. Thank you. Journey into the total darkness of Egypt. Very good description. Glittery brilliance in the total darkness. What a contrast. Darkness, brilliance. Embark on the journey to the Egyptian night, hoping to see the magnificent sunrise. A contrast. Night, then sunrise. Okay. Yes, someone said, I don't have a lion personality. Very good description of your own character. Also saying, I'm half an introvert and half an extrovert. Someone said, this is, okay. Someone said, victims of your own device, victims of your own fears. Face it in the face. Face your fear. Face fear. What if? What if? What if? These are trials. What if? Okay. The lion sleeping in our heart. Lion in me say no. Broom around the world on my witch's broom. Right time, right moment, and right event. Be brave tonight, tomorrow, and day after. A roller coaster ride. Well, there are some not so good usage of the English, which is, instead of saying, I will be showing the green at 5, amber at 6, red at 7, not forgetting that we do have guests who may not know what Toastmasters is all about. So it will be good that you said it simply like, I will be showing the green screen at 5, so they know it's the screen, amber screen at 6, and red screen at 7. Someone said, where God? That's very Singlish. You can say something like, there's nothing of that sort, or that's not true. Someone said, at Jakarta, at Singapore. It should be in Jakarta, in Singapore. Someone said, courageous is sometimes what we need to practice. Instead of that, say courage is sometimes what we need to practice. Or have more, another thing is someone say have more courage. So say, perhaps it's better to say be courageous. Someone said could found. It should be could find. Someone said it mean. It should be it means. Had aspiration to become air stewardess, but today I'm landed on product design app. We can say it better by saying aspired, not had aspiration. Aspired to become an air stewardess, but today I landed myself with a product design application job. Someone said, when we, in our mind, other people critique us, can be when we can say when we imagine others criticizing us or other people criticize us. Someone said English was so little for me. We can say it like my knowledge of English was insufficient, or my lack of knowledge of the English language. Someone say in the critic moment, it will be better if you say critical moment. Another one is very inspire me. It inspires me. Okay, and yeah, someone said when you happy, when you sad. It can be better by saying when you are happy or sad. Another one is reason being is that. It's a bit redundant, so just say reason is. The other one that I have here is we always right. The verb is missing. We are always right. Someone said table master. It should be it's table topic master. Someone said would like to ask you all. We can say would like to ask you. No need at all. Another one, able to do because able to do. Just say able to do and continue with what that person is able to do because it's redundant. Someone said do much effort. It can be said requires much effort, not effort. Effort. Another one, much good food. A lot of good food. Someone said, I think this is alliteration, if I can say that is, sun and stars to light our day and night. I like this one. It says, I believe this should be anaphora. Fear of heights and darkness, fear of safety and security. Better and better, narrower and narrower. And this is another, hold on. Okay, pronunciation. Someone said, desire, it should be a desire. Crowded, it should be crowded. Salary should be salary. Improved should be improved. Loser, pronounced as loser. Toastmaster, pronounced as toastmaster. Example, pronounced as example. Unfortunately, pronounced as unfortunately. Congratulation, pronounced as congratulation. Good, pronounced as good. Courage, pronounced as courage. The good use of this word, well, you know who that is. Engaging and enriching. Motivated and elevated. Audaciously amazing. Gems after gems after gems. Beautiful. Or, hold on. Fear of failure, yes. Walk your audience. Audaciously authentic. I think that's about all I can report. That's a lot, but I'm still learning about anaphora, alliteration, metaphor. Takes a while. Takes a while. Really takes a while.
Thank you so much, language evaluator Jennifer, for that really very detailed language evaluation. Truly break down the language usage for today so that we can all learn from one another. And from this language evaluation, we can all tell that she is someone who is very sharp in her listening. So I'm never going to speak behind her back ever again. All right, so thank you once again, Jennifer. And right now, unfortunately or fortunately, we have come to the end of today's chapter meeting. But of course, ceremonially wise, before we end off, I would love to invite our president to announce to us the results as well as deliver his closing address. So let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low. I see he's pointing to me. Is it a sign for something? Willie, why are you pointing to me?
Results, I think.
Not here, leh.
It's there.
Where? Is it in the chat? I can't see from here. Yeah, maybe because I'm using iPad lah, so I can only see chat. I cannot see it in document format.
Okay, the best table topic speaker, drum roll. And the best evaluator go to so I will announce it's called District HD Champion. So okay. Tonight, I want to congratulate two persons. That is Connie and Jennifer. Why? Because Connie have taken the courage to take the baby step to do ice
And finally the baby is delivered today.
Yes. We'll look forward to hear more of your speeches. And Jennifer for taking the baby step as well to be the leverage evaluator for the first time. This is not the only time. You have been assigned many meetings to be the leverage evaluator so that you can have more confidence, more courage. Rightfully, we are okay. For Connie's speech, there's a quote by Warren Buffett. If you can't communicate, it's a really good girl in the dark. For Jennifer, is the courage to take the first step, and because she always say, I can. Most of the Toastmasters that I know of always say that, oh, I'm scared of this, scared of that. But I do not see any nervousness. She's like one of the quotes that mentioned. She's the liar that have come up that nobody want to roar. She want to roar. She's a liar that like the injured. Okay, sorry. The injured liar still like to roar. So Jennifer is like a liar that still want to roar, other than Belly Darcy. So let us give a wave of hands to Jennifer for being an injured liar in the past that is roaring now. For Connie, I believe it will be. This is a baby step that everyone else have go through. So Connie is the first one. So I do not know who will be the next one to take the courage to take a baby step. I guess the baby step is not about doing speeches. It's to be the next TME of the meeting. That we are hoping that she can take the courage to be the TME of the meeting. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
All right, thank you so much for that wonderful closing address. And of course, the journey has just begun. Today we close a chapter meeting, but our learning journey is still very far ahead. So as usual, see all of you next week, Friday, same timing. We will have fun. Any of you want any speaking slots, sign up, go find our Queen Dowager. Buckley is a queen, but we have the Empress Dowager, which is the VPE herself, Alicia Chia. If you want to have speaking slots or any other appointment holders, I encourage all of you to try all the different appointment holders because that's how you can truly learn. Feel free to approach Alicia Chia. Other than that, have a good night, have an early rest, and have an amazing week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Wow, Thomas, you are using a lot of words. But to be honest, I'm learning